Perhaps it happens at a dinner table, perhaps in a meeting or a cafe or a family gathering where everyone has known you for years. Voices move around you like weather. A glass touches the table, chairs shift, someone laughs, and you laugh too, at the right moment, in the right way. Your hands are resting in your lap, and beneath all of it, quietly, without drama, something in you is taking measurements. How much to say, when to say it, which version of the story will land well here. You are part of the conversation, and at the same time you are watching yourself be part of the conversation, as though the person everyone is speaking to is standing slightly in front of you, and you are a few steps behind. You are here, but some part of you has not quite arrived. If you know this feeling, you also know how strange it is to explain, because nothing is wrong, exactly. You may like these people, you may love some of them deeply, you may even be enjoying yourself, and still there is that small distance, a thin pane of glass between the person being experienced and the person doing the experiencing. For years, you may have treated this as a flaw in you. Tonight, let us hold it differently. Let us sit beside it for a while and ask what it might actually be, because perhaps this feeling is not evidence that something is broken. Perhaps it is simply the distance between who you learn to be around other people and who you are in the moments when nobody is asking anything from you. You may have questioned it many times. Why do I feel slightly removed from this? Why can I participate and still feel somewhere else? Why can I be liked, genuinely liked, and still feel unseen? Why does belonging sometimes feel like something I am performing rather than something I am experiencing? Maybe it is loneliness, maybe sensitivity, maybe self-consciousness. Maybe it is the accumulated distance created by years of quietly monitoring yourself. Perhaps it is some of all of these, but underneath the explanations, the feeling persists, like a faint signal playing beneath the conversation, always transmitting, rarely tuned to. And here is a gentler possibility. Perhaps you were never bad at belonging. Perhaps you simply became very good at disappearing. Many people who feel different become, very early, devoted students of their environment. Long before you had words for it, you were reading rooms, the weather in a voice, the tightening of a face, what made the adults around you relax, and what made them go quiet, what made your friends laugh, which interests created connection, and which ones required explanation, when to speak, and when your silence would be more welcome, how much feeling a particular room could hold, how much honesty a particular relationship could carry before it began to strain. Notice the intelligence in all of this. A child who learns to read a room is not being false. They are doing something profoundly human, learning how to stay connected. The mask was not a mistake. There was a time when it helped you breathe. It was social craftsmanship built by someone young, in conditions they did not choose, so that warmth and safety could keep flowing towards them. If you could watch that younger self at work, perhaps you would not feel embarrassment. You would feel tenderness. But something happens when an adaptation is worn long enough. It becomes automatic. Somewhere along the way, you may have stopped asking, "What do I think?" and started asking, "What answer belongs here?" You asked less often, "What do I want?" and more often, "What will keep everything smooth?" And it worked. People began to describe you in certain ways: reliable, easygoing, mature, helpful, independent, calm. Perhaps those words are genuinely true of you. And still, underneath them, a quieter question began to stir. Where am I in all of this? There is a difference between being unloved and feeling unknown. You can receive real warmth and notice that it is addressed to a version of you that takes more and more energy to maintain. You can be surrounded and still feel like a translator at your own table, fluent in everyone, rarely asked for your own words. There is a particular loneliness in being loved, while wondering whether the person being loved is the person you have grown tired of maintaining. Fitting in and feeling known, it turns out, are not always the same thing. If this is where you are, you may have noticed a gradual turning. Nothing dramatic has to happen. There is no storm, no breaking point, no announcement. You simply begin to notice that things which once soothed you no longer reach you in the same way. Certain conversations leave a faint emptiness behind. Certain roles begin to feel mechanical, as though you are operating yourself from a small room just behind your own eyes. Goals you inherited long ago lose some of their color, and you cannot quite remember when they were chosen or by whom. You become less willing to laugh when something is not funny, less eager to agree simply because agreement keeps the room easy, less interested in making yourself immediately understandable to everyone. It can feel like clothes that once fitted you perfectly beginning to pull at the seams, and it can be unsettling. You may wonder whether you are becoming difficult, distant, or ungrateful. So consider another possibility and let it settle slowly. Perhaps nothing is going wrong. Perhaps growth sometimes makes its first appearance as an inability, the quiet inability to keep abandoning yourself in the old familiar ways. The desire to belong has met another desire, older and more patient. The desire to be present in your own life. This is one of the quietest turning points a human being can pass through. The moment you begin to wonder whether belonging could exist without leaving yourself outside the door. Before anything new can be welcomed, something old deserves to be thanked. The self you built, the agreeable one, the useful one, the calm one, the one who could read any room in seconds. That self was not your enemy. That self kept the peace when peace felt fragile, stayed connected when connection felt uncertain, avoided battles that would have cost too much, made you understandable in places that had little patience for mystery. That self helped build the life you are standing in right now. They carried you here. Think of an old house. A place can shelter you through many winters. You can remember the warmth of it, the way the rain sounded on its roof, and one ordinary day, without ceremony, you can realize that you have grown beyond its walls. Both things are true at once. The shelter was real, and it has become too small. You can bless the house that sheltered you without needing to spend your whole life inside it. In the same way, you are allowed to thank an old version of yourself without asking them to live your whole life. You are not discarding anyone. You are releasing them from a job they were never meant to hold forever. And then comes the stretch of road that almost nobody warns you about, the in-between. When you begin loosening an old identity, there may be a season when neither the old life nor the new one feels entirely like home. Old friendships feel slightly different, as though the furniture has been moved an inch in every room. New friendships have not yet appeared. Old goals have faded, and no new direction has fully formed to replace them. The approval that once fed you now passes through you, and the inner approval that could nourish you instead is still learning how to speak. You may find yourself standing in a doorway, a familiar room behind you, an unknown landscape ahead, and no clear instruction about when to step through. It is tempting to read the emptiness of this season as evidence of loss, but perhaps you are not empty. Perhaps you are between forms of belonging. You have stopped pretending to be the person everyone immediately recognizes, and you have not yet spent enough time as yourself to feel entirely at home there either. Of course, it is lonely. You are becoming unfamiliar to your old life at the very moment you are becoming familiar to yourself, and for a while those two movements can feel identical. They are not. One is a departure, the other is an approach. Perhaps you are not losing your place in the world. Perhaps you are becoming less willing to leave yourself behind in order to keep it. And if that is true, then what feels like wandering may quietly be arrival. You may be closer than you think. Somewhere in this season, you may notice a new appetite for quiet. After years of reading every room you entered, silence is the one room you do not have to read. Nothing in it needs managing. Nothing in it is waiting for your next calculation. Sometimes solitude is rest, sometimes reflection, sometimes protection, while something tender knits itself back together. And sometimes it is the quiet in which something new begins to speak, faintly at first, like a voice from another room of the house you are becoming. At its kindest, solitude is not a wall between you and the world. It is the doorway through which you return to yourself, so that in time you can return to others with more of yourself intact. It is often in that quiet that you begin to hear your own signal. For years, your attention faced outward, reading everyone, anticipating everyone, fluent in the moods of every room. Now your own inner responses become noticeable, a quiet tightening when something is wrong for you, even when it looks right on paper, a loosening, almost like an exhale when something is true, a hesitation just before a yes, a strange calm surrounding one decision, and a restlessness circling another. These are not commands, they are not certainties, they are a language, and like any language, it is learned gradually, through listening, through mistakes, through returning. You do not need perfect certainty. You only need to give your own experience a seat at the table it has been serving all these years. You spent years becoming fluent in everyone else. Perhaps this is the season when you begin learning your own language again. And perhaps that faint signal beneath the conversation was never interference. Perhaps it was a broadcast, patient and low, waiting for you to tune in. Beneath all the adaptation, all the reading of rooms, all the careful editing, something in you remained. Call it the deep self, call it the soul, call it, if you like, a silent emissary from the person you actually are. It remembered the interests you kept private because they required too much explanation. It recognized the rare conversations that made you come alive. It noticed the people around whom your body softened. Through every season, it carried one quiet suspicion that another way of belonging might exist. It has walked beside you the whole way, patient, quiet, entirely uninterested in your performance. It is not waiting for you to become someone new. It is waiting for you to come back. As you begin to listen inward, distinctions appear where everything once blurred together. Attention and care begin to feel different, being wanted and being known, intensity and intimacy, approval and respect, belonging and conformity, solitude and isolation, Nobody can hand you these distinctions. They are learned the way you learn the difference between two similar bird songs, by listening long enough that one day you simply hear it. This is discernment, the growing ability to recognize where you feel most present, and the growing willingness to let that recognition matter. As you change, the people in your life will respond in different ways. Some relationships deepen, almost with relief, as though your honesty finally gave them somewhere real to meet you. Some adjust slowly and find a new shape. Some become more spacious. Some become more distant. You may find yourself asking new questions of the rooms you stand in. Can I disagree here? Can I have a boundary here? Can I change here? Or must I stay recognizable? Can I be uncertain here? Can I say something true without immediately wrapping it in comfort? Healthy connection can hold difference. The people who love you may never see every room inside you. No one sees every room inside anyone. What matters is whether the relationship leaves those rooms open, whether you can remain a whole house, even in company. And this is where the road asks something of you, because there comes a point when being accepted for who you learn to be feels lonelier than risking being known. So you begin, carefully, unevenly, to become visible. The old adaptations were a kind of armor, and armor is honest about its bargain. It protects what is underneath, but it also keeps the world from touching it. Now, as more of you steps into the light, connection begins to mean more because it is happening to someone real, and vulnerability becomes real for exactly the same reason. There is a strange courage in this, and it does not look like fearlessness. It looks like letting one true sentence out of your mouth and staying in the room afterwards. Slowly, you discover that self-respect and belonging can live in the same life. Look for the transformation in small places, a pause before agreeing, noticing what you actually want, even if you say nothing about it yet, a no offered gently, without an elaborate defense, an interest shared without explaining why it deserves to exist, a silence you allow to remain in the conversation. Letting someone misunderstand you for a moment without instantly reshaping yourself to fix it. An hour alone in which you are genuinely there. One sentence spoken more honestly than you could have managed a year ago. These moments look small. They are not small. Perhaps the first sign that you are finding your place in the world is that you are becoming less willing to leave yourself behind wherever you go. From here, even purpose begins to look different. It does not have to arrive as a grand destination or a single revealed calling. It can simply be a direction, the direction in which you feel increasingly alive, present, engaged, honest, curious. Perhaps it leads towards creative work, towards a relationship, towards a quieter life, a difficult craft, a community, a way of helping, or simply a way of seeing. You may still be discovering it. What matters is that you are beginning to build a life that includes your own experience among the things that count. Perhaps you are like a seed, part of the same earth, receiving the same light and rain as everything growing around it, yet carrying a form that can only emerge from within. The seed does not need to know the final shape of the tree. It simply keeps responding to what helps it grow. Perhaps your task is similar, not to become an outline someone else drew, but to build, season by season, a life that feels inhabitable from the inside. So let us return to the room, any room, the one from the beginning or the one you are in right now. If it feels right, place one hand over your heart or flat against your chest, take one slow breath and ask very gently, without demanding an answer, what am I editing right now? Perhaps something surfaces, a sentence you swallowed earlier today, a preference you filed away, a tiredness you have been overriding, a need, a desire to leave, a desire to stay, or perhaps nothing surfaces at all. Let whatever arises be enough. You do not have to act on every feeling. You do not have to announce every truth. Just let yourself know that you heard it. That is all. It sounds like almost nothing, and yet it is the beginning of an inner relationship. Ask often enough, and something remarkable happens. You become one of the people consulted about your own life. Because here, finally, is the quiet center of all of this. Becoming yourself is not a discovery you make once, like finding a door and walking through it into a finished room. It is a relationship, and it is ongoing. You are still changing. You will keep changing. You will contradict yourself. You will outgrow things you were certain about and return to things you thought you had left forever. There will be days when you adapt, because adapting is sometimes wisdom, and days when you keep your shape, because keeping your shape is sometimes the truer kindness. Authenticity, in the end, may simply be the willingness to remain present through all of it, to notice when you are disappearing, to become curious about why, to return when you can, to be with other people while allowing yourself to remain somewhere inside the connection. You can adapt without mistaking every adaptation for your identity. You can belong to the world without being dissolved by it. And so, the room. Nothing external has changed. The conversation still moves around you. Someone laughs. A chair shifts. A glass touches the table. You notice your hands resting in your lap. Your breathing. That familiar quiet signal somewhere beneath your ribs. Once you might have translated it instantly. I do not belong here. But another translation has become possible now. Perhaps it was never saying that at all. Perhaps all along it was saying something far smaller and far kinder. Stay with me. Some rooms will feel natural to you, some never will. Some people will recognize parts of you immediately, others will take time. Some relationships will deepen, others will change shape. Through all of it, the deeper home is the one you are building now. Your ability to remain connected to yourself while moving through every one of these places. The adaptations that protected you can be remembered with tenderness. The future can stay partly unknown. You can move slowly. You can let yourself be seen in small, survivable ways. You can learn your own language again, one honest sentence at a time. And each time you choose presence over automatic self-editing, you are already moving closer. So the next time you find yourself in that crowded room, listening to voices move around you while that quiet signal stirs somewhere beneath your ribs, perhaps you can pause before deciding what it means. You may not need to leave the room. You may not need to stay. For a moment, simply listen. Perhaps the feeling has been waiting all this time to tell you something smaller and more intimate than you imagined. Stay with me. The person you learned to be carried you a long way. Honor them, thank them, and then notice the person who is beginning to appear beside them. There is another way of belonging taking shape inside you, one in which you are allowed to remain present, with every honest word, every quiet boundary, every unedited laugh, every moment you notice yourself before automatically looking outward. You are learning the shape of that life. You have already begun, and perhaps, without even realizing it, you are closer than you think. Thank you for watching and for walking this path alongside me. If you'd like to support the channel, please like and subscribe. For high-resolution art, music, and full transcripts, consider joining me on Patreon. Until then, carry these reflections gently with you, and I hope to see you again in the next video.